Good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome back to Air Radio. Sal Yerun has been today, Friday, Juma Mubarak. Welcome to our daily news program from our studio here, Sal Yeruna. We start the headlines in English and the details. Then the second segment will be in Mandinka. But this first segment is going to be in English. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on our platforms, Alajadama Diba YouTube, Alajadama Diba Facebook, my blog Facebook, and Alag Radio Facebook. If you don't want to miss us, please activate your bell. Whenever we are online, you will be alerted immediately for you to watch our event, our program ongoing. So let's forge ahead with the headlines from the bulletins. The first headline on Standard Newspaper: Sister of Murder Victim queries General BADJIE'S release. And then Gambia to host African Islamic Finance Summit. And then on the side, Gambian goods coming from DAKER port is bonus to our economy, said the Minister of Trade. GPA director says port charges not main reason for price hike. NPP vote 2 take all 7 seats or all 7 NBR seats. All 7 NBR seats, that means North Bank Region parliamentary seats. So those are the headlines from Standard. Let's go to Point Newspaper. The first story on Point Newspaper: livestock farmers complain about 12% interest. Here coincide. GPA gives rationale on prices of basic commodities. NHRC validates report on caste based discrimination. And also NAWEC says its Bigilo substation overloaded. Finance Minister present Gambia, America $2 million grant agreement. Public institutions owe Social Security Housing Finance Corporation over $1 billion. So, bill seeking specific seats for women reaches National Assembly. TRRC finds SOU extremely brutal under Jammeh. That means Security Operation Unit, the acronym SOU, extremely brutal under Yaya Jammeh. The national news from Point Newspaper: CRP holds learning session to combat fake news in Gambia. GPU, Gambia Press Union, meets the Point Newspaper. And German philanthropist donates health education equipment to Pirang Clinic and schools. Gambians delegation to Congress University 2022 fulfills intense work program in Cuba. So those are the headlines so far from Point Newspaper. Let's go back and start with the first story on Standard as we highlighted on our background. The first story on Standard Newspaper: Sister of Murder Victim queries General BADJIE'S release. This one by Alhaji Mane of Standard and read by Harjalama, a Radio Sal Jeruna Spin. Now the details. Ule Sise, sister of murder Gambian American, like Sise, has said the decision of the Banjul High Court to release former Republican Guards General BADJIE and others has left her puzzled. Badjie has been implicated in the disappearance and murder of Gambian Americans Alhaji Ceesay and Ibu Job. He was arrested in January following his return from Equatorial Guinea, where he accompanied former President Yahya Jammeh in exile in 2017. The Gambia Truth Commission found that Ceesay and Job were killed by the junglers, a hit squad set up by Jammeh and who often times operated under the command of Badjie. High Court Judge Justice Zainab Jawara Alami ordered the release of General Badjie and 2 other soldiers on the grounds that their detention without charge is a violation of their fundamental rights. But speaking to the Standard from the U.S., Ms. Ceesay said, "Anytime I feel we are making progress with this case, we are taken aback, they said aback, and that only brings back sad memories of how my dear brother and so many others had their lives cut short by these cruel people. I am confused by the High Court decision. I am not a lawyer, but many things are not adding up to me," Mrs. Ceesay said. She added that the High Court decision has strengthened her resolve to ensure the killers of her brother are brought to book, going to fight on until justice is served to ensure never again. This fight is no longer just about my brother or the many other victims who are no longer here. She said, "It's to me so no one else has to be victimized in the future in the Gambia." Mrs. Ceesay said the Truth Commission would not have recommended the prosecution of Badjie and the 2 men if it has not substantiated the revelations against him. It means the TRRC has evidence that Sol Badjie and cohorts committed a crime. Once you commit a crime, in my mind, the next step is you to get charged. Once you get charged and are taken to court, then it can be argued if you are a flight risk, and I think he is. We have seen many other examples where these guys have disappeared into thin air. Who should have filed the charges, and why is there a delay when the TRRC has already made recommendations? I hope the government will shed light on these questions. Clearly, the recommendations of the TRRC are not being followed. Miss Ceesay, they said sometimes Mrs. and sometimes they say Mrs. Ceesay lamented. Stay tuned, don't go, we'll be back momentarily with another story after a short jingle. Welcome back. Still with Standard Newspaper. The headline. Let me change this. The headline: Gambian goods coming from Dakar port. Bonus to our economy. This one by Tabora Bojang, Standard Reporter, read by Hajarama Air Radio Saljerona Spain. Now the details. The Minister of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment has told lawmakers that ships using Dakar for good coming to Banjul is a bonus to the economy, because not for that Gambians would have witnessed even higher prices for basic food commodities amid congestion at Banjul ports. I repeat here, because were it not, they wrote it like that, that Gambians would have witnessed even higher prices for basic food commodities amid congestion at Banjul ports. CD Keita was responding to concerns by NAMS, National Assembly members, over the high volume of goods bound for the Gambia being transited through Dakar. The minister said high congestion at Banjul port and attendant high tariffs for importers and the commissioning of the Senegambia Bridge in 2019 are factors responsible for importers opting for Dakar port. According to him, the current hike in commodity prices is also influenced by charges incurred by importers as a result of delays at the Banjul port. These two conditions have led to many businesses rather preferring to send their goods through the port of Dakar, where vessels are more frequent and freight charges are relatively cheaper. Our engagement with GPA reveals serious limitations in the handling capacity, and as a result, the ships that call to Banjul are not able to dock on time, resulting in huge charges, and the demurrage charges are internationally determined by shipping lines as a factor of the time and the expense incurred, and the longer the waiting time, the more the charges. In fact, part of the commodity prices or price increase is due to the charges that ships coming to Banjul are paying. The minister argued that the regional policy of ECOWAS is to encourage free movement of goods and services, and the fact that ships are using Dakar for goods coming to Banjul is a bonus to the economy and poses no revenue losses. Apart from the port's handling charges, the same tariffs apply across all crossing points, and the bridge also collect fees for goods crossing, so it is a bonus to the economy, Keita claims. Asks whether such higher volumes of goods bound for Gambia being transited through Dakar is contributing to the rise of prices of food commodities. The minister replied in the negative, stating that rising commodity prices is as a result of global phenomenon and 80% external factors. We believe using the port of DAKER, which has lower charges and is more efficient in handling, will definitely be a plus, and were it not for that, we would have expected higher prices because congestion and demurrage at the port of Banjul far exceeds the one in DAKER, he added. It ends your stay tuned. Don't go. We'll be back momentarily after a short jingle. Welcome back. Still with Standard Newspaper. The headline: GPA says port charges not main reason for price hikes. This one by Lamin Cham, Standard reporter, read by Hajalam here, Radio Saljernas. Now the details. The Gambia Ports Authority has stated that it is a misconception that port handling charges are responsible for all the increases in the cost of businesses. Transactions in the Gambia, including high price of basic commodities. In a write-up shared with the Standard, the GPA management explained that if anything, the port handling charges were reduced by 55% since 2013, whereby only 750 and 1,500 are charged for a 20-feet and 40-feet containers respectively. Demurrage is also charged for containers that remain uncleared beyond the free period allowed, and that is fixed at maximum of $23,000 for 20-feet container and $46,000 for 40-feet container, irrespective of the length of the stay, and that no withstanding waivers are usually accorded on the demurrage charges where hardship is involved. Vehicles are charged $500 for salon cars and $750 for jeep, trucks, and larger units on demurrage, the GPA said. Generally, according to the GPA, the major cause of the high cost of basic commodities are attributable to external factors which are beyond the control of government. Findings have revealed that the continuous existence of the coronavirus pandemic has disrupted global supply chain, resulting in high freight costs It is established that, for example, the freight cost to Banjul has increased by over 100% since November 2020, from an average cost of US dollars 2,750, about 137,500 per 20-feet container, to USD 5,750, about 287,500, 287,500 rather, about. The pandemic has also scaled down the global production level and caused high price of essential commodities in the international market. The international commodity prices have been soaring from April 2020, the GPA said. The authority further stated that the price of oil, which is a determinant factor on commodity prices, continue to rise from the slump in mid-2020, with a barrel of Brent crude oil increased from US dollar 42.3, about $2,115 as at November 2020, to 663.8 rather US dollars, about $3,190 as of 13th April 2021, representing an increase of 50.83%. The GPA said the Gambia, being a net importer of food like many other developing countries, continues to feel the impact of the pandemic in the domestic market in a form of price hike because of these externalities. However, it is still worthy of note that despite the external factors on the domestic price of commodities, some of the international factors may exacerbate the situation. These include demurrage charges levied on importers by shipping lines as a result of the congestion at the port, the introduction of 20% reduction of the indicative values by the Gambia Revenue Authority, the registration fees of food safety and quality assurance by food establishments, some of the local fees charged by shipping lines, increase in the freight levy charged by Gambia Maritime Administration, among others, the GPA said. The main collaborator of the GPA in good clearance at the port of Banjul, which is GPA, operates a self-assessment regime under the ASYCUD as the platform, whereby importers make their own declarations depending on the relevant commercial transactions, those serving to facilitate trade. It ends here. Second, don't worry, we'll be back momentarily after a short jingle. Welcome back. Now with point news about the headline. Finance Minister present Gambia, America $2 million grant agreement. This is a press release read by Hajjalama Air Radio Salgero on Spain. Now the details. The Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Honorable Mamrin Jai, before legislators on Thursday, presented the Development Objective Grant Agreement between the Gambia and the United States of America through the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, the acronym. I hereby invite this August Assembly to ratify the following agreement, called the Development Objective Grant Agreement, DOAG, D-O-A-G, DOAG, aimed at strengthening democracy and peace and stability in the country. The Finance Minister revealed that the government of the Gambia launched the National Development Plan 2018 to 2021 amid to deliver good governance, accountability, social cohesion, national reconciliation, and a revitalize and transform economy for the well-being of Gambians. According to him, in line with the overarching goal of the NDP, National Development Plan, and its strategic priorities, the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, is providing support to the Gambia through the Development Objective Grant Agreement, DOAG, the acronym. The DOAG is a grant initially amounting to $2 million, with possible increment to $15 million, subject to the availability of funds by USAID and upon written notice to the government. He added that the government of the Gambia, under the leadership of President Adama Barrow, is committed to strengthening democratic institutions and enhancing accountability to the Gambian people based on the rule of law. Highlighting on development objectives and activities under the DOAG, the Finance Minister said to bolster government's efforts and address the aforesaid gaps. The DOAG will contribute to expanding, protecting, and strengthening the Gambia's democratic progress by enhancing the agency of both citizens and civil society, and also strengthening institutional and human capacity within the executive, legislative, and judiciary of the government of the Gambia. Under the development objectives and activities of DOAG, he added that he is protecting and promoting the advancement of civil actors to exercise and promote their civic and political rights safely and securely. Furthermore, he said it aims at advancing the capability of the justice sector to safeguard and advance the civil and political rights, and to capacitate the institutions of governance to deliver government services transparently, equitably, efficiently, and effectively, are part of the development objectives and activities under the DOAG. It ends there. Stay tuned. Don't go. We'll be back momentarily with another story. Welcome back. Still with Point Newspaper. The headline: in NHRC validates report on caste-based discrimination. This one by Ali Jau, Point reporter. Read by Halgalama Air Radio Salgeronospe. Now the details. The National Human Rights Commission NHRC, with support from the British High Commission in the Gambia, on Monday held a validation exercise at the Nana Conference Hall in Kanifing on the draft report of a study on caste and descent-based discrimination in the Gambia. The study was conducted with the purpose of understanding the magnitude of caste-based and descent-based discrimination in the Gambia, the factors driving the discrimination, communities and tribes amongst which they occurred, the challenges faced by persons and groups who endure such discrimination. The study also seeks to identify interventions and strategies the state and other stakeholders can take to end this practice in the Gambia, and is in line with the mandate of the NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, to promote and protect human rights. This lays an opportunity for the Commission to forge ahead towards attaining its vision, a Gambia where everyone enjoys their fundamental human rights and freedom. The chairman of NHRC, Emmanuel D. Juve, said they undertook a fact-finding mission and field visit to communities such as Garawal, Baja Kunda, Koina, and Diabuku Nding in the Upper River region from 2018 to 2020, where conflicts and disputes based on caste and descent have occurred severally. To assess and examine the issues of caste and descent-based discrimination. This, he added, led to the issuing of a press statement after reports of serious discrimination based on caste lines. The president of the Supreme Islamic Council was also represented by Demba Jaro. Mr. Jaro contended that caste system in the Gambia is a social issue with no religious evidence due to lack of education or faith, adding that it is unacceptable in Islam. He blasted the separation of graveyard, praying grounds, and refusal of intermarriage between certain tribes, saying that these contradict Islam teachings and principles. Sorry. However, he told attendees This social issue has been reducing over the years due to continuous preaching, Islamic teaching, and sensitization by the Supreme Islamic Council in collaboration with other government and non-governmental partners. The British High Commissioner to the Gambia, David Belgrove, praised the NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, for the instrumental initiative. However, he said he had never been aware of the existence of caste system in the Gambia. It ends there. Stay tuned, don't go. I'll be back momentarily. Let me drink some water. After I jungle, another story. Welcome back. Still with point newspaper, the headline: Public institution owe Social Security Housing Finance Corporation over $1 billion. This one by Ismaila Sonko, point reporter, read by Hajarama Air Radio Sal Journalism. Now the detail. Mamburen Jai, the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, has told lawmakers that the state-owned public enterprises, PES, and government institutions cross areas verification exercises conducted by his ministry in 2019 established that the total amount owed to Social Security Housing and Finance Corporation is $1,839,888,000. Finance Minister Njai was speaking at Parliament in response to questions from the deputies on Wednesday at the 5th Legislative Session 2022. The Economic Affairs Minister said in January 2020, his ministry, through the Directorate of Public-Private Partnership, DPP, and Public Enterprises, PES, established SOE Cross Areas Bilateral Payment Plan Agreement, which was signed accordingly. According to him, following the verification of the areas between these institutions, the Directorate of Public-Private Partnership and Public Enterprise PE facilitate the signing of payment plan for the repayment of these areas. On online purchases from 2015 to 2020, he said the government of the Gambia has no data on online purchases. However, efforts are on the way to establish an agreement to not only keep track of online purchases but levy the appropriate tax on them, he added. On the economic presence in the country, Minister Njai said there is no financial obligation by government of the presence of economic in the country. On the price of groundnuts for the 2021 trade season, Finance Minister said the government has been subsidizing the purchases of groundnuts and fertilizer for farmers, adding that this year 2022 is no exception and that $150 million has already been budgeted for the subsidies of groundnut. It ends there. Stay tuned. Don't go. We'll be back momentarily with another story after a short jingle. Welcome back still with Point Newspaper. This is a short story. Bill seeking specific seats for women reaches National Assembly. It's from National Assembly. Now the details. The Constitution Amendment Bill 2021, which seeks to amend the 1997 Constitution by enlarging the composition of the National Assembly and providing the reservation of specific seats for women and persons with disability, has been read a first time before lawmakers on Thursday. The first reading of the bill was done today in accordance with the Assembly Standing Order 65. When passed, the bill is expected to guarantee the participation of women and persons with disability in the conduct of public affairs in the Gambia in line with the consultative process that led to the inclusion of these same proposals in the draft constitution. It also imposed an obligation on political parties to promote gender equity in the selection of candidates to contest National Assembly election, as well as respect for human rights. The second reading of the bill is scheduled for Thursday, the 17th of February 2022, for members to debate on the bill with an opportunity to vote on its general principles. The process continues through the various law-making states. The source is National Assembly. Stay tuned, don't go. We'll be back momentarily after a short jingle with another story. Welcome back. Now, back to standard politics. The headline, NPP votes to take all 7 NBR seats, North Bank region. This one by Lamin Cham. Now the details, read by Hajarama, Air Radio Sal Geruna, Spain. Karamo Jadama, a member of the National Executive Committee of the NPP, has revealed that early indications are that the party will take all the 7 National Assembly seats in the North Bank region. He said the party is on the process of selecting its candidates based mainly on consensus. Speaking to the Standard yesterday, Mr. Jadama, who is also a member of the NPP National Selection Committee, said the NPP does not wish to have any primaries in its selection process and call on any successful aspirant to accept the party's selection committee's decision under the chairmanship of Alhaji Ahmad Sar. We are very delighted to have learned that some of the constituencies in the region have already selected some of their NPP candidates without issues or dispute, and this is very much accepted by the party leader. I am appealing to all the interested applicants through their constituency executive committee chairmen and the applicants to be patient and tolerant, because NPP is a party of peace, unity and tolerance, and to understand that there are a lot of opportunities apart from being a member of National Assembly, Jadama said. He added that the decisions are being made from the grassroots without any influence by the party leader, who does not want any form of dictatorship on any NPP matters, including executive committee meetings which he chairs. Mr. Jadama called on NPP supporters in the region to be well prepared for a vigorous campaign which would start soon. We must work very hard together as one family to win all the 7 constituencies in the region. I am also calling on the 2 UDP National Assembly members of Lower Nyomi and Ilyasa to resign from their party and join NPP, where they have more chances of winning. Otherwise, we will campaign against them bitterly and they will lose their seats. He also said he would be in Salikenye to solve an internal NPP issue soon between 2 applicants. He concluded by calling on NPP chairpersons, youths and women associations to work hard to secure at least 40% of the 53 seats in the Gambia in the April 9th election. It ends here. So we will stop here the segment till next time. The bye-bye from here.